channel. Today I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way to braid your hair in a more bohemian style. Now before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share it amongst your friends so that we can all have fabulous hair during quarantine. The braid that I'm going to demo today is called a Dutch braid or a halo braid. The idea is that it's going to incorporate your entire head of hair, and it's all going to sort of be in a circular formation around your head. We're going to take a few pieces out to create more softness, and I'm going to now share with you some of the products that you're going to need to create this look. So to create this halo braid, you're going to need a paddle brush. You're going to need a dry shampoo to handle sort of the oils in your scalp, and then you're going to need a thickening spray to kind of beef up the braid. And then you're also going to need some baby little elastics to secure the braids, as well as some bobby pins to then wrap the hair and secure the braid in place. All right, so let's do this. First things first, let's brush the hair. We want to make sure we eliminate any tangles or any kind of knots in the hair so we can easily get through our hair. Then we're going to use the Oribe dry shampoo, and we're going to apply this product at the root area. So the whole point of the dry shampoo is to eliminate any oils from the scalp. It also helps to thicken up the hair a little bit and give it a little bit more, just more oomph and more grit. Next is we want to determine the parts. So normally what we want to do is sort of brush the hair back and then push the hair forward. I'm going to create more of a side part today. So I'm going to just determine where my part is, where my hair naturally wants to fall, and I think right about here is about where I want to sort of start my braid. Now we're going to curl the hair just to kind of give it a bit of a bend, so that when you do grab your hair to braid, it's going to be a little bit easier to fold and you're not going to have little pieces that are going to pop out. Again, I'm just going to grab really large random size pieces here, and I'm just going to give it a curl with my curling wand. And now you guys can really see how dark my color is here, but we're in this together, people. We're in this together. Now that you've given your hair a rough curl, we're going to go in with the texture spray, the Oribe texture spray, and we're just going to spray it all over the hair. At this point, we probably haven't washed our hair in a couple of days, so I would probably save this style until, until a few, maybe day 3 or 4 of not shampooing it. Okay, so this is what you're going to start with right here. So let's get this braid started. So what we're going to work on first is the part side here. We're going to leave this side here, just tuck it behind your ear so it's sort of out of the way. And then you're just going to grab like about a 2-inch section from the front here, so that you have all of this is going to be remaining down. You're pretty much bringing it to sort of the peak of the head here for the first part of the braid. And you're going to divide this section into 3. So I'm going to do my front section, my middle section, and my back section. So you have 3 subsections here. See that? All right, so now that you've got your subsections divided, you're going to use the front piece here, and you're going to pass that in the middle. And then that middle piece now becomes the front, and the back piece now gets passed into the middle. All right, so now that front piece is now in the back piece is in the middle, and the middle piece is now going to be passed into the middle. Okay, does that make sense? Whenever we're gathering and adding anything to our braid, we're only going to gather from the outside or from the hairline, okay? So I'm gonna grab a little section from the hairline, and I'm just gonna feed that right into the middle. Because the middle part of the braid is where we're gonna get all of our, what's gonna keep the braid together, okay? So now I've just passed that front piece to the middle, and I'm gonna collect hair, a nice big chunk of hair, and I'm gonna pass it in the middle, pass the back to the middle too, and then we're going to pass that front piece back into the middle. So everything always keeps getting folded back into the middle. I'm going to grab another section here, and I'm going to feed that into that middle section and fold it over. So now, as you can see, our braid is coming together and our sections are becoming equally as thick. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with my outer piece here and tuck that under, and I'm going to keep collecting big chunks of hair from this half of my head and I'm gonna feed it into that front piece of the braid. This is a really great technique for young girls out there that have really long hair. So if you've got kids, it's a really fun activity to do together and to teach each other how to braid. My mom taught me how to braid as a kid, and I knew how to do my own French braid since I was like maybe 8. And then everyone at school made me do their hair. I guess that's why I'm a hairstylist now. All right, so we're gonna secure that with an elastic, and this is what the braid is looking like so far. Okay, hopefully you were able to follow along. So you can see that I've already left a bunch of hair out on this side. This here is my weaker side, so I'm going to give this piece a bit of a curl and then maybe somehow sort of incorporate that into the braid once we're about to pin everything in place. But in the meantime, I'm now going to go into this side and just pull out some little baby hairs, just a few little hairs around the hairline using your tail comb. This is really handy dandy. If you can do this prior to braiding, it might make it a bit easier, but you want to just be really gentle and just take a few of these little pieces out so you have that little bit of softness around the hairline. And again, when we curl the hair at the end, there's a bit of softness around the face. All right, so I'm going to just loosen up this braid a little bit by bringing down that elastic closer to the ends, and I'm just going to start fattening this up. I like to start from the bottom and work my way up so that it kind of loosens the braid a little bit. And again, we don't mind if this looks a bit messy and disheveled and if a few pieces are kind of popping out, because the whole point is that it's supposed to look a little bit more undone and relaxed. But you can already see how much thicker and fatter that braid is looking, so when I actually pin it in place, it's going to look really, really good. Pretty much the finished result. I'm now going to curl my hair, and I'm just going to give this a slight bend with my curling wand. I'm using the 1-inch mint curling wand, and same thing with these little pieces up here, just a slight bend. We don't want it to look too ringletty. We don't want it to, you know, the next thing we're going to do is add like baby's breath or something, which we don't want to do. Little homage to the 80s. So you can see how this side has a softer hairline, and this side's a bit thicker. Again, because I have more weakness, more recession happening here, I'm gonna leave a few of these pieces out, but then I'm gonna just lighten that up a little bit. So I'm gonna grab this little section here, and I'm gonna do back pushing. So you twist your hair, and then you just hold the tips, and then you pop it up, and that's called back pushing here. And it's just going to sort of thicken up that little curl. And I'm just going to sort of pin that back in and incorporate that back into the braid, because I think it's just too much hair. And if any little pieces fall through the back, that's totally fine, because that's the whole point of it. One of the last things I'm going to have to do now to complete this look is cover my gray. And since we're all in the same boat and we all have a lot of sparkle coming through, I'm going to go ahead and use the Dualsenses Root Retouch by GOLDWELL. So again, it comes with the applicator. I'm going to dip it into the product, and I'm literally just going to apply it right at the root area wherever I might see any gray. You can be as liberal with this product as you like, as long as we eliminate those pesky little silver bits. I have a little bit of a recession area, which I've already covered, but if you do have any kind of weak spots or any spots that are kind of looking a bit scalpy, this is going to be great for any type of upstyling, whether it's this braid or whether it's a ponytail, whatever it is. If you've got any scalpy bits showing, especially people that have low density hair around the hairline and want to kind of mask that, this is going to come in handy. So this is almost a dual purpose product. It's not only for great coverage, but it's also great for upstyling. And if you're worried about seeing any scalpiness, this is going to be a really great product for you. So check it out. And there you have it. This is a really simple braid. It seems a lot fancier than it actually is, but it's pretty straightforward. It just needs a little bit of practice. And speaking of practice, this is something that you can do with your kids. So for all of you young women that have long hair out there and want to figure out how to do something with it, or how to manage it while it's growing since you haven't had a haircut, this is your style. The nice thing about this too is that if you leave it in the next day, your hair will remain really wavy, so you can really play up that style the next day. And that's it. So if you guys have any questions, please leave some comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram for more tutorials at Nadia Albano Style Inc. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I really appreciate you watching and following. So we'll see you again next time. Mwah. Have a great day.